Hello, 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 everybody. This is Beth Worsdell, author, and this is the Witty Writers Show. And I am so thrilled to introduce Andreea Pryde. How are you, darling?
I'm great. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm super stoked because, you write paranormal, fantasy, and I just find those genres so intriguing. Before we get started, I'm going to quickly share us with the groups and everything, Andreea. Is that all right?
Yes, please.
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, let me just get it up here. Oh, I can see us. We're on there, and you're looking absolutely fabulous.
Thank you.
There we go.
Now.
You are awesome. Oh, there we go. I found us. There we go. So I'm just going to quickly share it there. That's done, and share it to the groups. Writers Rock post. Sorry about this, Andreea.
Don't worry.
I would so love to be able to have this done automatically, but it doesn't want to work. It just doesn't want to work. Okay, I think I already did it on my newsfeed. There we go, but I'm just going to double check and make sure. There we go. Okay, I think I have done it all. Hopefully record time. And we've already got some people joining us. Hello, everybody. We've got, oh, there we go. We've got Leanna. She says, good morning, ladies, because Leanna is in Australia.
Oh, it will be good night for me soon, but
yeah, that's right. It certainly will be. Oh my gosh. And we've also got, oh, show. There we go. We got Josephine. She's in the UK.
Hey, Josephine, how are you hanging in there?
Bless her. Do you know, she's actually in Devon, which is my birth town. So I absolutely love seeing Josephine's photographs and everything when she shares them because it just reminds me of home. And she says, good evening all. So isn't that odd? So we've got you and we've got Josephine who are in the evening. We've got Leanna who's watching and she's in Australia in the morning and I'm in the afternoon. We've got a mixed bag today, Andreea, I've got to tell you. And it's absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I'm fascinated because your books just look so amazing, you know, paranormal, fantasy, and time travel. It just absolutely blows my mind. Is it something that's interested you since you were young?
Well, the paranormal side, yes, there's been something in there since forever. And then the rest just comes along.
And what inspired?
I don't know how, but it's like they just plop on top of my head and they don't want to get off until I put them on the paper. And I was like, write us. Slow down. I will. Slow down.
Do you know, I know exactly what you mean. And what's nice is Josephine is a fantasy author as well. So I'm sure she appreciates exactly what you're saying. It is hard, isn't it? Especially if you're writing one and another story's trying to develop in your brain at the same time. And it's, what do I do? Do I stick with the one I'm doing or do I move on to this new one?
Oh, I had to find a way like that because if it creeped in, it was fine. But after a while, it was like if the story was taking a bath, smash me behind my back. When are you going to pay me attention? My God. I'm just doing something else.
I know, it's absolutely crazy. Leanna says time zones are cray. I would absolutely agree with that. And Kristen's just joined us. Hi, Kristen. She's becoming quite a regular viewer, which is absolutely wonderful. So I think I must be doing something right. Now, Andreea, you're actually from Romania.
That's right, yeah.
How old was you when you moved from Romania to the UK?
24.
Wow. So you basically
5, sorry.
So you basically had your whole childhood in Romania.
Yeah.
I find that absolutely amazing because I think there are so many different influences for writers, and they're so different in each country. How did growing up in Romania inspire you and your books?
Well, one thing I can say for sure I have from back home is my sarcasm, which most of my characters have as well.
It's a family trait, is it?
More, it's like a survival trait in my family, more slightly. If you don't speak sarcasm, you're dead meat.
Now, I mean, were you an avid movie watcher or an avid reader when you were younger in Romania?
It came in phases, actually. Because I loved movies until, let's say, 12, 13. And then I kind of slipped in books from there. And there was like one book a day, unless I had school.
Yeah, yeah,
So
which
downside.
always gets in the way. I know.
Yeah, and then after 16, I discovered animes and mangas, and I fell in
Right.
that side as well.
I think that's lovely because I mean, anime is a whole genre of fantasy in itself, isn't it? And I know that because my daughter is passionate about anime and anything Korean, basically. I think she was born to the wrong family, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. I know how she feels about that, honestly.
We've got a message from Josephine. She says notes. She makes lots of notes with keywords so she doesn't forget her ideas. Laugh out loud. But it's whichever one seems to be needing written first. I think that's quite true, isn't it? Do you feel that your characters talk to you and sort of scream, "You must write down my story"?
Well, sometimes they can be very loud, and when I need them to be, nothing, silence.
Yeah.
With the last one, I wrote, The Curse of Time. I had literally, I picked out notes. I made like little paper notes with a keyword or a title, and I put them in a bag, and I just picked one out. Okay, this is the one I'm writing next because no one is talking to me.
Yeah. And did you find that helped? Did you find it worked for you?
Well, it worked after a week. A week later, I was like, okay, no one wants to talk anymore. Okay, I will go with this one. Let's get to it.
Well, at least you were still being creative. That's a good thing. We've got Carla who's just joined us. Hi, Carla. Happy holidays. Thank you for joining us, darling. Kristen says, I'm here for the laughs and meeting new fellow authors. And that's what it's all about. I love that. Thank you, Kristen. That is absolutely wonderful. Josephine says, I take lots of notes with keywords to remind me whilst I finish one. So she's a finished one and leave the other one till later. We've got Tiffany who's just joined us. Hi from Alabama, she says. Hello, darling. I've got to say, I've been thinking about Tiffany for a while because she's been going through it with illness and she's always in my thoughts. So just so you know, Tiffany, I am thinking about you, Angel. We all are, and we're wishing you the best, my darling. Absolutely. Kristen says she loves anime too. Look at this. We've got all these secret anime fans coming out of the woodwork. I love it. I love it. She says, have you ever had a side minor character demand to have more to do with your story or demand their own story? That is a very good question.
Yes, I actually had one, but well, connected to that story, she kind of went to college. Well, college in Romania is kind of on the same par with university. So she finished high school, she went to university. Her story happens after university, So in the meantime, she's just quiet. She's studying.
Oh, and that's it.
She will come back when she's ready.
She's got a sign on the door, come back later.
Yeah. I have a test coming. Okay.
That's the thing, isn't it? Sometimes you just can't predict when your characters are going to talk to you. It's absolutely crazy. We've got Wanda who's just joined us. Hi, Wanda. How are you, my darling? Wanda's just publishing her new release, which is absolutely fantastic. So exciting. I know, bless her. And Tiffany says, "Oh, thank you." Oh, well, it's heartfelt, darling. We absolutely mean it. Oh, and Wanda says now she's releasing her next book right now. So all you viewers that have got young children, go and have a look because they're beautiful books. They're absolutely beautiful. Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't keep that in then. I'm sorry, Andrea.
It's okay. Bless you.
That just snuck up out of me a little bit. It did. Oh my gosh. Now, do you happen to have any of your books to hand, Andrea?
Well, I do have them. The problem is I changed my covers just last night. So I will show you the new covers on my phone since I didn't get to order new copies.
That's fine. That's fine. I can't wait to see your new covers because I've got to say I'm super excited to read your books. They sound absolutely amazing. One of my favorite movies actually was oh my gosh, it was The Time Traveler. I can't remember the actor's name though.
The Time Traveler's Wife.
No, the one. No, I can't remember what the actor's name is. He basically it's based on a book, which I haven't read yet, and I do need to. And he literally builds a time machine and goes back in time to the. Actually, no, he goes forward in time. I think forward in time to the point where humans are literally like slaves. And they're basically taken and used for food and stuff. It was a weird movie, but it was brilliant.
It sounds like The Time Machine.
I can't remember that actor's name. If anybody knows, tell me, because that's going to drive me nuts.
I've read the book. I read it in 7th grade. I was in love with it, and then when I saw the movies, I was excited. Well, lucky for me, I saw it 2 years later, so I forgot most part of the details from the books, so I could enjoy it.
Yeah. I don't know about
really good one.
I don't know about you, but sometimes I get so disappointed when I absolutely love a book, like passionately love a book, and then they release the movie version of it, and it just falls flat. And
I know.
And that's
frustration. The main character has a different hair color. Couldn't you get it right? How difficult is it?
I know, and they always seem to cut out your favorite scenes as well. The scenes that fit, like you feel that really make the book, are just gone. It just drives me nuts. It really does.
That makes sense. They define characters' relationships. As you can't cut that out. That's the whole base.
Exactly. Well, it's what makes you fall in love with the book in the first place, isn't it? Christine says yes. So she can't wait to see your cover.
How well you can see it. Okay, this will take me.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
Okay, that's the first one in the series. In this series.
That is absolutely lovely.
Where are you? Right. This is a novelette.
Oh, I do like that.
With the main character from the Curse of Time with her love interest.
That is so stunning, Andrea. It's absolutely beautiful. Really pops. It's very, very eye-catching. And
drums, please, for the one that should come out in January next year.
There you go. That's my drum call there. Look. Oh, that is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Oh, I'm so excited for you, Andrea. It's absolutely awesome.
Thank you.
And I got to say, I was Googling you, Obviously, once we arranged your interview, and your reviews are absolutely amazing. It's just fantastic, and there is a big fan base out there for time travel stories and the paranormal. I mean, it's huge. And the nice thing is that the sci-fi and fantasy movies and everything else that have been coming out in the recent years, I think has helped us as authors to bring that passion out, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, it's true. We gain more and more. I won't say space, but
I know what you mean. Josephine, she's just she says, are you talking about the original Time Machine? The new one was the Australian actor. He did Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. I think I am. And Josephine says, Guy Pearce. That's the guy. That is the one I was thinking of. She's good. She is good, I tell you. Absolutely. Tiffany says, your books look great.
Thank you, Tiffany.
And she says, vibrant colours. And I agree. I absolutely agree. Christine says she loves the covers as well.
Yeah.
Tiffany says, beautiful. And Josephine says, great covers. There we go. So I think you got a fun thumbs up all round, really. That's absolutely amazing. Now,
well, I might show you something. No one else saw it before. I'm going to change the cover for my debut novel soon as well. I need to tweak a few things.
We're getting exclusive.
Let's see.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
I can't see it properly.
Oh, look at her eyes. It looks like she's looking into your soul. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now, what inspired you to write a story about time travel? What inspired you to do that?
Well, initially it wasn't supposed to be any time travel in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everything was supposed to happen through dreams. And the little artifact, which through some miracle was traveling back and forth between Victorian area and our time.
Wow.
And I thought, that's too simple, and it doesn't really make sense. I mean, my first book is about dreams, and let's leave it like that. Let's try something different. I was like, okay, time travel it is. Come on, my lady, do your work, do your magic.
That's absolutely amazing. I tell you, it's absolutely amazing. And did you find that the storyline was just coming to you as you were writing?
Yeah, I'm a total pantser on that one.
Yeah, me too.
I can't plot to save my life.
I'm absolutely with you on that. I don't know about you, but I've tried both ways. My first book was such a shock because I was so surprised at myself for doing it. I just completely winged it. I just went with the flow completely. And then with book 2, I thought, okay, I've published one book. I can call myself a professional writer now. So perhaps I should try planning. And it just went horribly wrong. And I got about a quarter way through and I thought, this is not working. So I just went back to doing it, ad lib.
That's the thing for us. I tried plotting the sequel to my debut novel. I have everything in a notebook, on chapters, plot points, everything. And then my brain was like, you wrote it. It's on the paper. What do you want more? That's it.
You're just doing cliff notes.
Yeah. And that's it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I'm so glad I am not the only one because, it just didn't work for me whatsoever. Carly says your covers are lovely.
Thank you, Carla.
And she's so impressed that she's given you love hearts. So it's thumbs up all round. Absolutely. Josephine said, yes, she likes your new one that you've just decided to change. And Tiffany says that looks great. So big thumbs up all round. That's absolutely amazing. Now, you've got quite a few books out already, and has it been a surprising journey for you, or are you the type of writer that has total self-belief? I'm going to do it and it's going to be great.
No. No, I at least once. Well, it was once a day. It went down to once a week. Now every 2 weeks and so on. I think. Is there a point? Maybe I should just unpublish. It's just a little button that I will press it, and that's it. And maybe in the future I will come back to it, and then I have nope. This is my dream. I'm going to do it, no matter what my dark side says.
Yeah, and
no,
I honestly think that's one of the things that any artist, whether it's writing, painting, sculpting, whatever craft you do in a creative nature, I think there's always that element of self-doubt, isn't there?
Yeah, it's they actually have a name for it. It's called the Imposter Syndrome, which plagues all the artists.
Yeah.
Even established big names, Hollywood's movie stars, they still think at some point, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, the other shoe's going to drop.
Do that.
It is. It's terrible, isn't it? I think we've all got that inner self-doubt. And as you said, it's pushing past that and no, I can do it. I will do it. And you know, it is going to be great. Oh, Tiffany says, she loves your accents. Oh, she's so lovely. I know they're getting spoiled today, look, because they're getting an English accent and a Romanian accent.
Yeah, it's so mixed up. You will get one word with the English accent, another one with no accent at all. Then you hear the European Eastern accent. I might get American at some point. I can't promise anything, but
I think your accent is absolutely beautiful. I really do. And I think it's one of those things, isn't it? You don't hear yourself like other people hear you.
Oh, no. But, you know, most people hate their own voices. I'm exactly the same. So.
Yeah. I agree because my voice is quite husky. I've always had a bit of a husky voice. I'm not a girly girl and never have been. But Andrea, I don't care. I don't care. Tiffany says, I'm a newbie, so where do I need to start? Good question.
Open that Microsoft Word page and get writing. That's the first thing. Open that document, put the first word down.
I agree. I think something, and I'm sure you agree, Andrea, the one thing so many people forget is that the moment you start writing, you're a writer, you are an author. No matter whether it takes you a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years to publish, all the time you're doing the process, you are an author. And I think it's, you know, you do come to a point where you have to start taking yourself seriously and just go for it.
Yeah, in every group you will go, you'll find a big debate on this subject, because there are those who say you are a writer until you publish and then you become an author. And then there are other people who say, okay, you are a writer and you become an author when you write the end.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I think, I mean, Tiffany, I think you should just go for it, darling. I mean, I'm you know, I'm the big 50 next year. I've been in denial since I turned 40. I've got to tell you.
I'm in denial now.
Yeah, shh. But if I can publish 3 novels in my late 40s, anyone can do it. Anyone can do it, honestly. And I'm not the brightest spark in the you know, in the box of fireworks, but I am creative. And I think to deny your dreams and your creativity is a very negative thing. So go for it, Tiffany. Now's the time. It's never too late. Wouldn't you agree? Just go for it. Absolutely. Tiffany says, there we go. She says, I will be 40 next year. See, you can do it 10 years before I did. Time's a wasting. Josephine says, laugh out loud. Ha ha ha. She's 52 and now has 11 books. There we go. So go for it, Tiffany. I tell you, life is too precious to not chase our dreams. Now, obviously, you're very big in paranormal and the fantasy side of things. What's the weirdest thing you've ever had to research for your books, Andrea? What's the weirdest thing you've ever had to Google? Because I posted about this recently, and I got to tell you, one of my author friends said that the weirdest thing she'd Googled that week was what water temperature will a human body boil? I was a little bit scared when she typed that. But what's the weirdest thing you've ever had to research?
Yeah, the weird thing I tend to create myself, because I have one character at the end of the book. Well, I shouldn't say that, but it's literally turning into sand. You will see in the book the whole process, but
wow, that's intriguing. That is intriguing. So you had to try and figure out how to make them turn to sand?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I had to come up with something which made sense, but in the same time wouldn't fall into my scientific thing. So I said, no, science fiction is not my area. I'm staying in fantasy.
Yeah. Yeah, you can push the boundaries a little bit more when it's fantasy, can't you?
Well, to be honest, the limit is literally the sky.
Yeah.
Your character can grow wings and fly because they ate a bad badger.
Yeah. Yeah. I absolutely agree with you. And I think, I don't know about you, but I think that's why fantasy and science fiction has always intrigued me, because you can invent new things that have never been thought of before. You can create whole new worlds and introduce people to a whole new dimension. It's as you said, the sky's the limit, isn't it?
It sounds cliche, but it's the truth.
It's absolutely amazing. Now, I know you said you're a bit of a pantser, and you like to just go with the flow. But do you have any processes as you're writing? I mean, do you do sketches of characters or make notes of their personalities? Do you do anything like that that helps you as you're writing your novels?
Not really. I should. I know I should, because I keep going back to see, did that one had blue eyes or green eyes? Or did he had a preference for that word, or was a different one? How did he say that? Because I keep doing that. I take notes, but my character tends to change from the beginning of the novel till the end. So
Yeah.
by the time you reach the end, you might realize they're a whole new person because
Has
of the things
developed.
you went through, and making notes that won't really help.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I know
I
what you
don't
mean.
know how they will change. That's the thing. I have no idea. When I write the first chapter, I have no idea how that person will change by the end.
Yeah. Yes, it's like they're coming alive in your head as you're actually typing. I must admit, I do cliff notes when I'm writing, because my husband calls me Dory, as in the fish from Nemo, because I have got the worst memory ever. I mean, really bad. So I do cliff notes now. I learned the hard way when I was writing book one, and I decided that as I'm writing from now on to literally just make cliff notes of, the character's name, how I see them in my head, brief description, who they're related to or connected to. I also will highlight a phrase or passage or a sentence one of the characters says that I think will be relevant or good for advertising later on and stuff like that. So my thought,
I'm never good at those things.
yeah, see, I've made myself, because otherwise I create so much work for myself, having to search for the information to remind myself of what they said or how they look, or, you know, as you said, what color are their eyes?
I installed once an app to keep track of my characters and things like that, but I surprised myself. I never looked in it.
Yeah.
I spent time looking for pictures to match my idea, to put the data in and everything, but I never looked. I said, okay, it's a waste of time. What's the point? I'll just keep going.
Yeah. It always amazes me how we've all got such different processes and ways of doing things that make our own lives a little bit easier. We've got some more comments here, so I'm just going to put them up here. Kristen says, never too late to publish, reach for the stars. I absolutely agree. Wanda says she's the big 6-0, and happy birthday, Wanda, because it was her 60th just recently. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. She says, and I have a book out a month and didn't think I had one book in me, and I just started writing. Start now. There we go. So Wanda is full of confidence in you, Tiffany. Josephine says something, and I can't spell. Author my foot. Well, that's what Grammarly's for.
You'd be surprised what sort of words I Google so I can see how they're supposed to be spelled.
That's the thing, though, isn't it, Andrea? That there are certain words that you just don't use in everyday conversation, but you find yourself having to use it in your books. And I have moments like you, and I think, okay, how on earth do you spell that?
Yeah, but I think my most searched word is throat, which is
brain block.
a basic word, and I'm like, how do you spell that? Wait, that doesn't look right. Okay, come on, Google, help me out.
Yeah, but do you know what? I think we all have certain words that we just get a brain block with. And when I was younger, I used to struggle with shoulder and soldier.
Oh yeah.
Now I don't, but as a kid up until my teens, I don't know what it was. I just had a complete brain block as to how to spell it, like questioning myself as to how to spell it. It was weird. So don't worry, you are not the only one. Josephine says, I misprinted the previous comment, LOL, as if she's just like trying to make a point. We've got Bernadetta, who's just joined us, who's another author. Good evening, darling. She says, good evening to you both, Queens Beth and Andrea. Blessings always and happy holidays. Thank you, my darling. Thank you. Thank you.
Crown, so
I'm sorry, say that again, darling.
you have a crown.
We do, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. So obviously you're busy changing covers and doing a revamp, which is great. You know, I think sometimes if we feel we need to do that, we have to do that. And normally authors have got very good reasons for it as well. Are you currently in the process of writing at the moment on another novel, or you taking a little breather?
No, I need to write the end of the Bloodwatch, which can be, well, I think there's supposed to be 2 chapters, but if it goes like it went with the previous chapters, it will probably turn into 5 or 6. No, they did this to me. I swear. I was supposed to write a scene. Yeah, it was supposed to take 2 chapters. 6.
Oh my gosh.
10 out of 6.
I think your characters have the whip out. It's crazy, isn't it? But if they're talking to you,
I'm shouting at them, get your butt into the car. You have somewhere to go. Go.
now with your books that you've already done, did you go through a literary agent, or did you totally self-publish?
I am a complete coward, so I self-published.
So you say a coward, but I think that's one of the bravest things that people can do is self-publish, because you're taking so much work on, because as you know yourself, when you self-publish, you're not just releasing the book and putting it out there to be judged. It's the marketing, it's the reaching new readers, it's the social media, it's your website. You're literally wearing so many hats at one time, trying to create your career, aren't you? What do you find is the hardest thing for you?
I still hadn't had the courage to approach a literary agent, so that's why I say I'm a coward.
Well, do you know what? Maybe now you should. I mean, when I looked you up, and I looked at your reviews on Amazon and Goodreads, they were brilliant. And the nice thing is that now you've got those reviews for your previously published books. That basically is a great selling point to try and get a literary agent, because you got something to show.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Because I mean, the proof speaks for itself. And I'll give you an example, because I was nervous. I must admit, when I published my books, book 1, I really did push and query lots of agents, and unfortunately, no luck whatsoever. So with book 2, I thought, do you know what? I want it exactly how I want it. I know what I want, so I'm just going to self-publish that one. And I did that. And the same with book 3. However, now I'm writing a fantasy series for younger children. And I'm thinking, okay, I've got all these great reviews for my trilogy, and I'm still getting them. Now's the time to reach out again to agents and say, look, okay, I'm writing something new, but look what else I did. Do you know what I mean? Because not only can they see your reviews and everything else, but they're also seeing that you're productive. Because I mean, you release books how often? How much time is there normally between each book?
I'm a slow book on that one.
But you're not like, what's the guy who did the Game of Thrones? I mean, he's taken years between each one.
Not bad.
George Martin.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's his name. I'm not that bad. I'm not far, but not that bad.
But the thing is, your books are coming out fairly regularly, aren't they? So that's a good sign for a literary agent, because they know that you're going to be productive and not take years to do it. So another good selling point.
I should take notes.
Well, do you know what?
I will rewatch this and I will take notes.
It's one of those things, isn't it? I think, like, as we said earlier, life is too short, and if you don't ask, you don't get. And I must admit, I'm a great believer that people will buy from other people's recommendations. And you know what it's like. You can see the best commercial on the TV trying to sell you something and think, yeah, all right, they've been paid to say that.
I'll think that, yeah.
Exactly. But if somebody or you see a review from a real person that says, you need to read this book, it's absolutely fantastic, they're going to take notice of that. Yeah. So I must admit, I always share all my reviews, not because I want to brag, but because I know people are more likely to believe somebody else who's personally recommending it rather than the best advert I can do.
Our best adverts are not always the best.
But as authors, our reviews that we receive from genuine people are the best selling adverts we can have. It's just having the confidence, isn't it, to like use those reviews to introduce yourself to new authors. And most of us are introverts and don't like blowing our own trumpets and look at me. We're just not really like that.
Yeah, no, I had a blogger more or less shouting at me. He said, "Why weren't you more vocal? I didn't know you wrote a book. Look, it's been out for 6 months. I had no idea, and we've been friends for how long? What do you want me to do? Post every day? I don't want to do that."
It's awful, isn't it? But do you know what? I a while ago I interviewed a lovely lady, and she's called Lindsay Whitlock, and she finds it just as uncomfortable. So what she does is she tends to do everything in the third person. Yeah, and it's really helped her. So when she creates posts, rather than saying, look at my review, it's got 4 stars, blah, 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 she'll say, check out Lindsay's review. It's got 4 stars. And just having that slight detachment and taken herself out of the spotlight just through words has made it her life a whole lot easier. Because she doesn't,
that's not a bad idea.
yeah, because she doesn't feel like she's, massaging her own ego. So I thought that was absolutely fantastic. I really did, because the last thing we want to do is come across arrogant or conceited or think we're better than everybody else, because we're not like that.
That's exactly my problem. I'm not bragging. I'm just look. See?
Yeah.
Maybe,
Well, there we go.
like a here something.
Maybe that's the route to go. You've got to create your alter ego who can do your advertising for you.
I need to find him, her, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll check the box and see what I have in there.
There's food for thought there. Food for thought. We've got some more messages, so I'm going to quickly get them up. There we go. Josephine said, yes, self-publishing isn't easy. It's the whole thing and taking it all on one's own shoulders. Absolutely. Absolutely. But the nice thing is, and I'm sure you probably enjoy this, is having the level of control of everything.
Absolutely. That's the best part.
Yeah. The covers, the formatting, you can decide how you want it, the price, where it's going to be sold. It is hard work, as you and I both know, but having that level of control, it's very attractive, and earning more royalties on your own work, which is massive too. Leslie's just joined us. Hi, Leslie. She says, time travel. Can we go back about 20 minutes? Oh, bless her. I love Lindsay. Now, Leslie is an author herself. And this year she published a fantastic book. Honestly, you need to check out her author page. And again, it's to do with dreams. So you might be interested in having a look at her book, Andreea, because it's a very original concept, very much like yours. And I think you two would actually get on like a house on fire. You would actually have quite a lot in common, which would be brilliant. So maybe you can connect. But yeah, so getting back to the time travel, because Leslie's highly intrigued and so am I. What made you pick the Victorian era to travel back to in time? Is it something that you've been fascinated with?
Yeah, I'm kind of in love with that time. I blame the historical romances for that, because I know life wasn't that glamorous back then. But handsome duke coming over, charming the innocent, not quite young lady, and so on from there. You know what's going to happen.
I think that's lovely. And I'm with you on that because, I mean, you might, as when you step back to the Victorian era, you might as well be on a completely different planet, mightn't you? You know, with the way people spoke, the way they acted, the way they greeted each other, and the etiquettes that they had to follow, the complete lack of technology.
Oh yes, I have one scene. My main character can travel. Well, she can travel back to the Victorian era, but she needs to take over one of the girls' body that already lives in that time.
Oh,
Yeah, her name is Leah, and there is one scene where Leah is just mentally exhausted, and she backs off. She falls asleep, and Scarlett comes to surface, and she doesn't know how to put the corset on, so she just gets the dress on without the corset because she doesn't know how to tie it.
oh, wow. And in those days, it was tricky because it had to be done from the back.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Well,
That is so cool.
the character is quite surprised. The male character will be quite surprised about this, but
Oh, everybody's gonna have to get your books. It's so cool. Leslie said Victorian time travel. She's down for that. Oh, there we go. She's very in. See, I told you two would hit it off. Look, she says
absolutely.
the best clothes.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm not sure about that. I've got to tell you, because the thought of wearing those corsets for hours on end and being so tightly squeezed. Andrea, I've got to tell you, come 5 o'clock, I can't wait to get my bra off, let alone be strapped in a corset. Although the men's clothes were very flattering, weren't they?
Yeah.
And yeah, and men were, and I don't mean this to be disrespectful, but men dressed to impress. There were no, jeans around their knees and all their boxer shorts hanging out, which I don't know about you guys, but I just don't understand whatsoever. As a mum of 4 children, I just want to go behind people and pull them up.
You should see me chasing my toddler around the house, pulling up his pants.
Yeah, that's what it makes me feel like, actually. Now, that brings me something else that I wanted to ask you about, because, as authors, especially fairly new authors, like most of us are, it's hard, isn't it? Juggling everything, and you've got a toddler and you're trying to work, you're trying to write, trying to keep your house clean and everything else. When do you find your time to write? Because you're juggling so many things.
Okay, you'll probably laugh at this one, but at work.
Perfect job.
When I'm at work during lunch times and all the other breaks we have, that's when I write the most. My God.
Yeah. And I think most of us are like that, aren't they? I mean, I'm with you on that, because there never seems to be enough hours in a day, does there, to get what you want done. And I've said this before on the show. When Abby was still when my youngest Abby was still in school, because at the moment she's homeschooling like most kids, I would literally park the car early just to get car park space because it was so packed, and I'd end up sitting in the car for nearly an hour waiting for her to come out.
Wow.
That would be my time to write. So I would literally be going on my phone, and then I would be on my iPad. Google Documents has been a lifesaver because it saves the moment you type, and I can literally go from one device to the other. So I'm with you on that. And it's amazing how much you can get done in an hour.
Yeah, it's true.
isn't it?
I tried writing at home when
Yeah.
the baby sleeps. I think he has some sort of antenna knowing I open my laptop. Because if I sit on my phone and watch YouTube or doing whatever, doesn't matter what, he will sleep at least 2 hours.
Yeah.
If I take the laptop out, 20 minutes. 20 minutes. That's it.
Isn't that crazy? See, I must admit, I used to struggle because I had my children very, very close together. And by baby number 2 and 3, I realized that if I wanted them to go to sleep, I had to get them to go to sleep while I was busy and making a lot of noise, because then they would sleep through anything. So I used to literally put them in the crib near the sound of the washing machine, or I would put them down and start hoovering so they fell asleep to the noise. And then at night time, what I used to do is I used to wait to put their clothes and everything away and tidy up their rooms until it was bedtime. So they would fall asleep with me opening drawers and putting toys away, and they would just fall asleep because they were bored watching me. So there we go. Maybe that's a plan for you. Go in the bed, in the baby's bedroom with your laptop and just sit there and type away as the baby's falling asleep.
Although he will try to come out from the bed and try to help me.
Oh, that's nice. I miss that age. I really do. I really, really do.
He tries to help me with everything. He tries to put washing in the machine. He tries to do so many things. He pushes the Hoover behind me.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Make the most of it, Andrea, because as they get older, it doesn't last.
I'm not excited about that time.
Oh my gosh. We got some more comments, so I'm going to quickly get them on here, Andrea, because we've only got a little while to go. Dave's just joined us. Hi, Dave. Thank you for joining us, sweetheart. He says, I don't do jeans like that. Girls, please don't offend me. I never want to offend anyone. I don't. It's just the mum in me. The mum at my age, I'm afraid, Dave. I do apologise. Leslie says yes. Vacuum. She's a thumbs up for the vacuum. There we go. Look. White noise machine. There we go. Absolutely. I agree. Dave says, Abby sounds great when you're writing. She allows you to do your stuff. I love your ding dongs on your head. Oh, thank you. Do you know what? I couldn't remember what to call them, Dave. When I was a very young kid. Oh my gosh, I got all these updates trying to come on. Look, for some reason, when I was a kid, we used to call them wheelie boppers. I'm really showing my age now, aren't I? But wheelie boppers, we used to call them in the UK. But yeah, I quite like that. Ding dongs. I love that. That's brilliant. He says, Andrea needs glitter. Laugh out loud. I'm amazing like you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Leslie says, waves and rain. Oh, for sending the baby off to sleep. That's a good one. That is a good one. Dave says, you've not offended me. Sorry, ladies, you're lovely. Oh, thank you, darling. I so appreciate that. Do you know what, Andrea? Honestly, I could talk to you all day because your mind is just absolutely fascinating. And I do have this problem because I have so many fantastic authors like yourself coming on, and I'm just amazed by your creativity and your passion and just the way you can create these whole new concepts and worlds. It's brilliant. I've actually put your links and attached them to the video, to the interview, so everybody can check out your wonderful books. Please, everybody, go to Andrea's website and her Facebook page. She's on Goodreads. She's everywhere. So please stalk her because she'd like it. And when you do read her books, please leave a review and tell your friends, because most of us rely on word of mouth. We can't get any better recommendation than that is word of mouth. So
Yeah.
Please check out Andrea's books and leave reviews and tell your friends. Before we go, Andreea, I've got to announce the winner of my Christmas quiz for the Witty Writers Show. I did post all the answers on the Christmas quiz show video, so go and have a look. But the winner that was pulled out the house was Grace Augustine. I keep saying that wrong. Augustine. It's my, oh, I don't know, it's my accent. Anyway, Grace won. So congratulations, Grace. I will be shooting you a message and sending you the whole set of Earth's Angels trilogy. We will be doing the same today, Andreea. So anybody who shares your interview and gives you more exposure and helps promote you will get put into a draw to win a free ebook from me. So get sharing, everybody. Get sharing. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Quickly, Dave has left a comment. He said, I've liked and shared both of you. First time on and think you are amazing. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, my darling. There is more to come. I have got more author interviews to book. I'm just waiting back for authors to give me some more dates. So there are more to come. Andreea, thank you so much for joining me, darling. You've been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so stoked, and I hope you'll come back and talk to us again when you've got another release coming out.
Well, January, February, we'll see.
Woo-woo! Fantastic. Thank you, darling. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas with your little one. That's what it's all about, isn't it? It's the kids and Christmas and seeing their little faces light up. My husband still has that effect on me every time he gives me a little present under the tree. My face just lights up. I love it. I love Christmas. Hence all the jingle jangle and the ding dongs, as Dave called them. I'm going to adopt that word, ding dongs. I absolutely love it. Merry Christmas to all of you, my angels. Thank you, Andreea. And we will see you all again soon.
Thank you. Bye.